Hello, can you hear me? I am so sorry. I am having some technical difficulty here. And let's just see. I want to go ahead and get started. It's been a while since I've been on here, I know. And just one moment here. I'm going to see if I can give some people time to get into the room, if I may, just because I know it's late. And let's just see here. I may go ahead and just start anyway. Okay. I don't know what is going on. I don't know how this is going to turn out because, well, first of all, welcome to Vlog Media Breeze. As you know, I have been um, doing reality shows, The Real Housewives franchises, Love and Marriage Huntsville, and a couple of other reality shows. I also have an In the News segment, but I have been off for a while, and I will tell you why here shortly. I want to save that to the end because what I really want to do is come on here and talk to you about um, some of the reality shows that I've been watching that I really wanted to share my thoughts and my commentaries with you. You guys, let me tell you, I'm going to start first of all with Karen's Grand Dame reunion. I know there were only two episodes, and as it should be, only two episodes because it wasn't too much. It was just the right amount of episodes for Karen getting her start. And I really love her family. I actually loved Karen's Grand Dame reunion. Some people were saying they thought it was quite boring. I didn't. I loved it. She has a beautiful family. And Raven, the excitement on her face as she sees her cousins, because she's probably felt like an only child, even though she has a brother. She probably has felt like an only child, being that she is the only girl and she's the baby, and her brother was out of the household somewhat as she was being raised. And so to go see her cousins and to have another cousin like Alyssa, she seems to be real close to Alyssa and David. They're probably more like sister and brother to her anyway. But her excitement just made me smile. It just made me smile because I was like, that she really likes her cousins. And I used to really like some of my cousins. Some of them I still like. No, I shouldn't say that. Only one of them I really don't care a whole lot. Well, one, two, three of them. Okay. Um, but other than that, I love my cousins. So I'm not going to speak a lot on Karen's reunion just because this is my first time talking about it. Um, I'm just going to kind of start where I started because I missed about 30 minutes of it tonight. Last week, I was able to see the whole thing. So I know that the purpose was the succession of the family farm, the wooden farm. That is the subject for these two episodes. So as I started looking at it, they started showing David. David seems to be the nephew or the cousin that Karen is really close to. And he seems to be, that good looking cousin that you have. I have a lot of good looking cousins, male cousins. My first cousins, my mother's sister, she has five sons who are gorgeous. And it's weird because the daughter, bless her heart, didn't turn out as good looking as her brothers. They are gorgeous. Listen, the women love them, but they're married now. So, um, so David kind of reminds me of that. He's that good looking cousin that they are all glad to have in the family. And he seems to be the only guy. If there are other cousins, I didn't see them. I did see Karen's brother and her uncle. So at this family reunion, I couldn't help but notice that the name of the company who was helping to sponsor the family reunion and who laid out everything for them was a company that looked like it was called Glamour Events LLC, and Nora looks to be the owner there. No one is paying me to do this. I just kind of like to throw things out there because I see sometimes the specifics as I'm looking at these reality shows. They have a corn shucking contest. David and Karen are against each other, but really, David won that corn shucking contest. I don't know what Karen did to kind of make herself look like she won. But Karen, it's okay to let your little cousin win there. Karen's family's energy reminds me of my mother's side of the family, that energy. Um, and I think that's why I really liked it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the end here because we all know that it had to do with the succession of the family farm. And they want Val to tell them her if she's really prepared for that if something should happen, God forbid. And we find out here at the end that Val does have a will, you know. Uh the can't all the other family members, the what they call the youngsters, they are going off and they're doing the RV, what do you call it? The ATV driving. And you have the adults here. Um, they're going to be you have Karen, her who is it? Karen, her uncle Michael, Val, and David, who is Val's son, and two other men were there. And they are talking about the will, and that's when they learn Val does have a will. And then the producer goes, "Would you be willing to tell us who is in the will?" And Val says, "No, I wouldn't." So, basically, my commentary here is really at the end. I have some other shows I'm going to go over here, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Karen's Grand Dame reunion and Kandi and the gang. But I did want to talk about my thoughts on Karen's show. I was really proud of her. She really pulled this one off. And I liked it. I would like to see Raven and her friends. Like, Raven seems like that girl that has some, good looking friends that she can bring on board. So I would like to see Raven and her friends and her cousin Alyssa have a reality show. I'm sorry, my throat is dry. I really, you guys, I want to pause here and tell you something. Last September, I had COVID, and before that, I had not had a cold even in years. Okay, and after the COVID, I started intermittently getting colds and feeling congested, and just recently that happened with me. Okay. Um, so that's what's going on today. I'm kind of a little bit congested. I don't want to be congested, but I am. So I'm going to do my best to get through this real quickly. Okay. Um, I want to proceed and say that, yeah, I would like to see Karen's daughter. I think that would be a good reality show. Have her and, some of her friends who are just graduating college and trying to make it in corporate America. I think that would be a good show. So let's move on. Let's go ahead. I want to play a little something real quickly here for you, okay? So just one moment before I get started. Okay, there was that. Okay, thank you. I am back. So now let's move into Candy and the Gang. So I have not been reviewing or doing commentaries on Candy and the Gang. So this one will also be a very short segment here as well until I get to Love and Marriage Huntsville. That one be will be a little bit longer. So again, if you are just now joining me, I know this is a late night, but I came on here because I wanted to go ahead and just open up and share my commentary with you about some shows that I've been really wanting to talk about. Um, so, Candy and the Gang, just overall, my commentary on it overall is this. From the beginning, Candy is clearly a moneymaker, right? Sometimes in business, you can make a lot of money and you may know something about business, but you may not have a solid foundation. You know, your businesses may just be happenstance because you have already made a lot of money and now a lot of people recognize you for that, so they don't mind partnering with you. The most important thing about a business is to make sure that you are always adhering to your mission and your values and your ethics. For all of that, you need a handbook and also make sure you are adhering to the law. Candy seems to be what I like to call a real big money maker, but she's not as business savvy as people like to put her up to be. People say she's a great businesswoman because she makes a lot of money. That's a big part of being a great businesswoman. So she's gotten that one out of the way. She's really got to continuously hone her business skills, though, because every company, you guys, needs a handbook. You need a solid handbook that talks about your bylaws, it talks about the laws in your state, how your company is going to run off of that. It talks about how you're going to handle harassment. And they say that YouTube doesn't like for us to use the sex word, so I'm saying harassment, which is what Candy um and the gang has faced, and I'm going to go over that with you here shortly. One of the things that I learned in my early days in corporate America, and you guys, I'm going to tell you, I've had a really great life. We have had a really great life. It was not until we moved to Charlotte that things really started to spiral out of control and go in really a downward direction. And we have had to even recently begin to really pick up some pieces in a way where we've had to. I'm not even going to get into all of that, but we are, so I'm saying that to say, just to lay the foundation for the fact that when I worked with a particular company early on after college, that company took me through the process of what they call a leadership skills course. You guys, it was the best thing that could have happened to me because I used to think right out of college, I thought that being a manager meant being a boss, right? The way a lot of women say, I'm a boss, BIT. That is not what a good leader does. A great leader is someone who actually esteems their subordinates or esteems the people who work with them or under them. And that's real important. I do see Candy doing that. I don't think she has a problem esteeming people and helping people to move forward. I do think that she needs a better process in terms of making sure that the grade on her restaurant is always an A, because a restaurant should always have an A. Just because you have options doesn't mean you shouldn't be getting an A. Just because you can get a C or a B doesn't mean you should get a B or a C. You need to always be aiming to get an A, and you need to put in some processes to help you get there. That's really what Philip is for. But when I look at Philip is great, I think, academically with business academics, just like Don Juan is, but he's too stern. When I see that in a leader, that's someone who really can really needs yearly leadership classes. I worked with a major company, you guys, a major company, major, okay? Not even just one, but two. And every year, their executives as well as their management teams had to um, take leadership classes. Every single year, they had to take leadership classes and they had to qualify to continue in the positions where they were. And when I look at Candy, that's the only thing that I can really see that her restaurant is lacking. And it was important for me to say that because when I see what happened with Dominique and Brandon, you guys, under normal circumstances in corporate America, reality check. Now, Candy and the Gang is a TV show, but reality check. Under normal circumstances, he would have been terminated and she would have been suspended. They would not have terminated her because she was the subordinate, but she would have been suspended. He would have been terminated immediately. So I know this is television, and what they're doing is they're giving him the opportunity to work in a different location because they don't want to do that to him. I- It's television, okay? I'm just saying, real life circumstances, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. Even Vanderpump Rules had a lot of those issues. Everybody on that show, had they been in corporate America, would have been terminated. Um, so I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way about Candy and the Gang. The other thing about Candy and the Gang that I want to bring up, because if you can see from my description, I talk about Watch What's Happening Live and Andy Cohen. Why is it that with Andy Cohen, I'm beginning to see some things that people out here in YouTube are saying about him? Because why is it that with Vanderpump Rules, he had a lot of the cast on his show? Every time the show aired, he would have them on his show. So why can't he bring Chandrika and Patrick or Safari? Why can't he bring at least Patrick and Safari on the show? I think they would be a great first two guests from Candy and the Gang to have on the show. Because tonight, whenever I turned on Watch What's Happening Live and I saw what's his name from Family Ties from years ago when we used to watch Family Ties. He's now married to Sarah Jessica Parker. I can't even think of his name now. But he was on Watch What's Happening Live. And I'm going, don't nobody want to see him? With all due respect, that's not what we wanted to see. That's why your ratings are low, Andy, because you take things personal yourself. You don't know how to step aside and be objective and businesslike. Um, And who was the dude beside him? An author. He's an author. They both have all these awards. I didn't know the dude who was sitting beside Matthew was his name. Matthew, I can't think of Matthew something. Anyway, the guy, the heavyset guy who was sitting beside him on Watch What's Happening Live, I did not know him. Is Andy trying to make him famous? You should be helping to boost the ratings for Candy and the Gang by having Candy and the Gang cast on your show. Andy, what's wrong with you? It really looks racist, you guys. It looks that way because Vanderpump Rules, he always had them on. Always. They were always on. Even whenever their show didn't air, he had them on. He even said that had he to do it over again, he would not have terminated the two Caucasian girls who were terminated for making racist remarks, by the way. So I wanted to go ahead and get that out of the way about Candy and the Gang. Okay, the leadership, they really need to do more with leadership there, and showing people how to be and their priorities, but I get that it's a television show at the same time. The other part of Candy and the Gang that I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here is, we could be having a wedding on Candy and the Gang because Patrick wants to marry Safari. He showed this beautiful ring that he has for her. And Safari is very pretty. She's a gorgeous girl. Okay, television likes her, the camera likes her. Um, the other part of the show that I want to address is Patrick and Safari. When you are giving a housewarming, it needs to be there needs to be some decoration going on. And where were the gifts? You should have had a registry so that people could go to the registry, get you some gifts. You should have had some decorations. I was like, people just standing around. There was no food. It was like there was no music. There was like nothing. At least do a speech about, your journey to getting your new place. Something. It looked boring. Uh, Dominique and everyone else said it was boring. It looked like they were not having a good time. Patrick, if you're going to give something, you got to come out of that narcissistic mindset that you have so that you can understand how to include everybody else in it. Um, the other part to that I want to bring out is, you know, they gave Patrick and Chandrika, whoever named this child Chandrika, my goodness, I digress. Anyway, Patrick and Chandrika used to date, right? And they have been intimate. So if I have dated a man and he has another woman and he is now inviting me to a party at his home, I'm going to politely decline. That is not a situation that I want to be in, and not one that I would want to put the other woman in. On the other hand, if you've dated my husband, you can't get into my house. Period. Whether you smashed or not, you can't get into my. So that part, I don't understand why Candy doesn't get that. Chandrika and Safari don't need to be close friends. They don't need to be comfortable with each other. They can speak and keep going. Um, so I wanted to say that I agree with Safari. Now Candy and Todd, they lined up this triple date wherein Chandrika and her man and Patrick and Safari and Candy and Todd went on a date. I think it was a bowling date. But they wanted to know from Safari, why she didn't want to have Chandrika there. And Safari is like, listen, it's just an unspoken code. And I agree with her. What I don't agree with on Safari is you never put your man down on a date with other couples or other people in the presence of other people. You don't call him a trick. She called her man a trick. Now later on in the show, she explains it and it was very sweet, but she should have said that night. She should have kind of led up to, when I first saw him in the DMs, I was reading all these messages and things that he put out and I misunderstood what he was. At first I was thinking, oh my God, he's just a player, he's a trick, or blah, 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 something like that. But now that we're together, I understand that he's not that. But it was so, at first we almost didn't get together because that was how I was thinking of him, or something like that. You don't just come out and say, no, I thought he was a trick. Because that's why Candy had to have that conversation with you. Know how to present your message. Okay. Um, And like I said, at the end, I'm going to tell you guys why I have not been here. I didn't want to tell you yet because I wanted to kind of get through this. So I'm going to pause again and put up I'm gonna put up my little message for you, and then we're going to transition into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Here goes. Okay, I am back. Okay, so let's talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville. It was titled I Wanda Have a KeKe. Okay, it came on last night, you guys, and let me tell you, I have to first start out by saying, whoa, this show never misses. Okay, it never misses. And in reality, it's letting you know what most of us in the country have always known all of our lives. City people think that they have gossip. No, those of us who grew up in the country know. Here, these little country towns, we can create some gossip. It may not be many of us, but man, we can create it. Okay, I am telling you. Before I get into it, and I want to tell you, I know one time I was a little girl. I was in elementary school, and we used to go to church. Our church was in a community, and everybody in the community went to the same church. And there was this gentleman there. He was quite debonair to most of the single women at that time in the neighborhood, and, um, he used to come to my grandparents' house on Sunday because everyone would we would, like, go there for Sunday dinner after church, and sometimes other people would show up. One time, you guys, he came to church after partying all night long, and he had not 1, not 2, but 3 women on his arm. And after church, they were talking about like, the church members were kinda gossiping about it, and they were talking about the night that he had. At that time, I was very young in elementary school. I didn't know what they meant, but now I know that they were saying that he had had a threesome. So he had all of that, and then he brought the women to church, like, Sunday. So I'm just saying to you guys, our little country towns here in the South, listen, whenever I see what's happening on Love and Marriage Huntsville, I'm going, "You know what? I don't know why I'm so surprised." That trailer last night, the mid-season, I don't know if that's considered a mid-season trailer, but let me tell you, I hope that Carlos King doesn't trick us because there were some things in the trailer last year, the mid-season trailer, that did not show up at all, toward the end. So that like the ambulance, I'm still trying to wonder, okay, what happened with the ambulance? Why did it show up? Um, so this season, the things that we saw, I hope they show every scene that they showed in that trailer last night and not lead us blindly. Okay. So this starts out Taco Tuesday. Mel, Kimmy, and Stormy meet up. Mel walked in all black, and Kimmy had on a black top. I don't remember what Stormy was wearing, but I do remember thinking Mel looked real pretty. I thought that she looked really gorgeous, sitting there throwing down on her tacos. Okay, it was Taco Tuesday. Um, you guys, I'm only going to go over a little bit of this. I'm gonna try. I have a lot of notes, but I'm gonna keep it short. I want to just highlight some of the things in this commentary. I really still believe that Kimmy is kind of snakish, you guys, for lack of a better word. And I hate to say that about her. I know she is a fan favorite. I'm normally not like when you hear that someone is a fan favorite, normally I'm not a fan of the fan favorite. Um, I like Kimmy. I like her and Maurice together, but I just remember early on, like season 1, how she and Tisha tried to come up against Mel. So I'm glad she and Mel have been able to work things out and move forward, but I kind of feel like Kimmy is sneaking backwards now because she met up with Tisha, and really the undertones that I got from that conversation with her and Tisha was that she thought Mel was wrong for inviting KeKe. Well, it's Mel's pajama party. It's her Christmas pajama party. She can invite whomever she wants to invite, Kimmy. And for Kimmy to say, here at the Taco Tuesday, that she doesn't remember um, KeKe ever being at any of Mel's events. Well, clearly she has been there. So maybe, Kimmy, you haven't been at every one of Mel's events. Okay. Because Tisha let us know that KeKe had been invited to Mel's event, and that's when her and KeKe actually that's when Tisha and KeKe actually had their falling out because Tisha was telling Mel something about KeKe. And you guys, low key, I think that the reason Letitia shared that information with Mel is because she didn't want KeKe to be a part of the group. So she was doing something to be underhanded against KeKe. That's why she shared that information with Mel, whatever it was that she shared, because KeKe is highly upset. We still don't know what it is. There are a lot of different rumors out there about it. I don't really want to get into it because I don't know what it is. People have said bed bugs, some people have said jail, some people have said other things. I don't know what it is. Stealing, I don't know. Um, I do think that KeKe needs to do a live and just come open and tell everybody what it is, basically. Okay. Um, Also, let's see here. If you look at how Kimmy reconnected with Tisha, she also really has no other alliances other than her husband, Maurice. And the other thing is, Maurice might have communicated to Kimmy that she needs to make that relationship right with Tisha. He might have done that because he's all about family. Those Scots are all about the Scots, okay? Um I Kimmy tells Mel Kimmy she starts to invite Mel and Stormy to her event that she's going to be giving, and she tells her that Martell will not be there. And we do see in the trailer that Kimmy, Maurice, and Martell have a heated conversation about him not being at that event. So I hope that Kimmy does not go back on her word, okay? Because he shouldn't be at that event. Um, so they have this discussion, and Kimmy and Mel says, it's good to see that you're finally seeing Martell, and I'm paraphrasing, seeing Martell for who he is, because it's funny to me because at one point you said he had a big heart. That's what she's saying. And Kimmy doesn't back down. She says that she still believes that he has a big heart, and she's just honoring Mel's um she's being respectful of Mel because Mel has asked them as a group that if they're going to invite Martell somewhere, not to invite her. So Kimmy said that she is just being respectful, and I really appreciated that of Kimmy. I really did. I appreciated that. Now, but she didn't back down on Martell having a big heart. So, what is so heart-filled about Martell, Kimmy? Please give us some examples. What has he done that has shown you that he has a big heart? Did he give to a charity? Because even when he and Mel were together and they went to charitable events, it was Mel, the one who was doing all the giving. And it was Mel, the one who was getting the honors and the recognition. I don't know if you guys recall, but when they were together, they did go to events where other organizations in the area were recognizing Mel, but they were not recognizing him. So, Kimmy, If you're going to attach a noun to someone, you need to be ready to provide some examples. You said he has a big heart. So, the other part of their conversation while they're at Taco Tuesday is Mel makes it very clear she's done with Destiny. And Mel, you need to be done with Destiny. If you would listen to my channel, you would have known last year that you needed to be done with Destiny. Okay. Um, I did see Destiny in the beginning when she first came on the show. I did see her rocking with Mel, right? Not when she first came on the show, but the season when she got her divorce. I did see her really trying to rock with Mel, but I also saw her being kind of hostile to Mel. So I didn't like that. I didn't really see her and Mel as a good match in terms of friendship. So I think that Mel needs to steer clear of Destiny. If she wants her to stay on the show, fine, let her go find her own friend somewhere else. But Mel is a different kind of person. Mel and her mother both actually are different kind of people than people like Destiny, Tisha, and Wanda. So I think that Mel needs to like protect her energy because if she continues to invite all of these envious, jealous people into her energy, she's going to be brought down. So she needs to stay away from that. So I'm glad because Destiny is an envious and jealous person. And you guys, I've been around many years. I'm in my 50s. I've seen envious and jealous people. It is very hard for them to change. Envious and jealous people are some of the most blinded people, and they will do some horrible things to you. Okay. And remember, I said that just now because I'm going to say that again here at the end when I tell you about why I haven't been here. Okay. Um, I always say get rid of all people in your life who are jealous of you and or envious of you. Envy is when you just see someone and you want something that they have. Jealous is when you are cold-hearted and you're mean and you somehow times become deceptive because you want something that someone else has but you can't get it. Go live your own life, Destiny. Get your own thing. Stop trying to use Melody's friends. Last week at the table, she said a mutual friend. And now we learned that woman is not a mutual friend of you and Mel. She's Mel's friend. You and Mel really do not have any mutual friends. You do not have any mutual friends, Destiny. Mel has her own friends. And there you were, um, recently trying to on live trying to make everybody think that Mel had no friends and that she ruins all her relationships. And we learned that from this woman that came on her live last week that her and Mel have known each other for years. Mel also has another 14-year relationship. So you're putting bad energy out there for Mel when you say stuff like that. And if Mel can't see that, Van needs to tell her. Van, you need to tell your daughter to keep that bad energy away from her. I don't care how cute you think this girl is or how you would love for your relationship to work. Leave it alone, Mel. It's a done deal. Drop it. Don't talk about it. Don't be friends with her. Okay? It's not going to work. She's always going to have an issue with you. You're always going to be at grief with Destiny. You see what her husband did? He dumped her 3 weeks after they married. Word on the curb is that she was having an affair. Allegedly. Everything on this channel is allegedly when I'm talking about my commentary, you guys. Whenever I'm giving my own opinions, that's all allegedly, okay? Um, so I just wanted to get that out there about Destiny. Here's the other thing I want to get out there about Destiny real quick so I don't forget. These PPP loans last week, the PPP loans are not public assistance, you guys. They are loans. They're actually loans. Now, can you get them forgiven? You can get them forgiven, but there's a process you have to go through. But they are not public assistance. Uh, I'm just going to go ahead and say that Black people they will take a word or they will take something and they get carried away with it, and it's not even the right thing. Like, black people all over the world now are using this word narcissist, and they're applying it to everybody. Some of those people you guys are calling narcissists are not narcissists. In fact, they may have worse issues than being a narcissist. Okay. And some of them may not have, you know, their issues may not be as bad. This thing with the PPP loans, a lot of people over here on YouTube were calling it public assistance. That is not public assistance. That is a loan. Okay. It is a loan for your business. It has specific uses. If Destiny spent that money on her mortgage, if she spent that money on her personal needs, on those clothes she's wearing and earrings, they can arrest her. She can go to prison because that money was supposed to be for businesses who have employees that they could not pay, or if they had operating expenses, you could use it for your business's operating expenses. I mean, if she used it even on underwear, they can come after her. Those PPP loans were to help businesses survive. What Destiny could have gotten was the other one. Oh my gosh, I got it, and I can't even think of the name of it. Oh my gosh, the $1,400 one that they were sending out there to just individual people. Okay. Who and I at the time of the PPP loan, my nonprofit was still active and I could have gotten one, but I didn't because I saw the I wasn't going to be able to continue with it. I'm going to try to restart it, but I didn't. Okay. Number one, I didn't have any employees. I had not yet obtained any operating expenses. Destiny girl. I mean, really? Um, And if it was for her operating expenses, she probably could have gotten even more than what she got, because from what I understand, she got like 20 grand. But if she didn't use that money on her business, they're gonna come for her. They're gonna come for her. Um, so I wanted to go ahead and say that. Okay, that's out of the way. I want to say that I do like that Kimmy is at least trying to respect Mel's request not to invite her and Martell to the same event. I do wanna also, because when I looked at Mel at this Taco Tuesday meeting, I wonder what stage of the pain that she is in, because, with whenever you have, a death in the family, they always say that, they always say that, what is it? That there are stages that you go through, okay? Um, so let me see something here, you guys. Okay. Um They always say that there are stages that you go through. And I don't know if Mel is still in the anger stage, because when she was talking about Martell, when she talks about Martell, I can see some of the anger, and I hope that she is getting help with that. I know that these businesses and her come up have really been a great help to her. At the same time, I want her to get some personal therapy, and I hope that she is getting that, um, because her anger is there. Um, so next, let's move from the dinner. Okay, Destiny Payton meets up with Martell. So I guess she was meeting up with him just to have somebody to film with. Um, and what do they talk about? Mail. Mail is everybody's storyline. Okay, you guys get in the comments over here. Okay, you're here, so please get in the comments. Let me know what you think. Your thoughts about Destiny and Mel's relationship. Also, your thoughts about the fact that everybody is making Mel their storyline, even Tisha. Okay. Um, did you see how excited Martell got when he learned from Destiny that Mel mentioned his name? He just got so excited. He got so excited. You know he misses that woman, okay? But she better not take him back. He's bad for her. Destiny says that she tells Martell that she and Mel connected because they both were in a divorce. Well, my commentary on that is that that is definitely not true because Mel did not even know about your divorce, Destiny. Mel, please leave this trick alone. Leave this girl alone. Something is wrong. You can see by Destiny's nonverbals, her eyes, the way they move whenever she's talking and when she gets upset. She needs some help as well. But anyway, um, well, after they're done talking about Mel, and Destiny lets him know that her and Mel are no longer friends. I do like that Martell ended on a positive note because he said maybe y'all can work it out, you know? So even though I want Mel to move on from Destiny, I do like that Martell had a positive way to end this. So next we go to Tisha and Wanda, okay? First of all, people are getting so excited about Wanda getting her business license. With a business, the only thing that you need to get a business license, you don't need to take a test. The only thing you need is an application. An application is going to ask for your business address, business name, all of that stuff, right? Purpose of the business, all that stuff. That's all you need, and a payment. So it's not like she took a test to get her business license. So saying congratulations, okay, whatever. I digress. Um, Wanda and Tisha talk about the business, and Tisha's a big help to her mom. She is honoring her mom. This is how you honor your mom, and that's probably why Tisha is prosperous, okay? Because she's honoring her mom. Um, but for Wanda to say that if people had a daughter like Tisha, that they would throw away their own daughters, that was kind of a callous statement. Ain't nobody throwing away our daughters for Tisha and her challenges. No, thank you. You keep Tisha over there. We don't want her. Okay. You keep her. We're not throwing, our daughters are great. Okay. So we'll keep our daughters. You can keep yours. Okay. Wanda is one of these people. She wants people to be jealous of her. No one's jealous of you. No one's jealous of Tisha. Get over it. No one's envious of her or image of her. Okay? As you said. And stay out of your daughter's business. She's an adult. Tisha, you knew you were not cool with Mel. So for you to sit there and tell your mother you were cool with Mel, Mel made up with you last year. Last season, Mel made up with you. But you did to her what you have now accused your cousin KeKe of doing to you. And that's not moving forward. So it's because of you. You brought up the past, and you and Mel had decided to move forward. The two of you agreed to squash that past. And you brought it up again, saying she tried to wreck your marriage. That girl didn't try to wreck your marriage. Your husband is trying to wreck your marriage, Tisha. When someone talks about what your husband is doing, that's not them trying to wreck your marriage. Your husband is the one who is responsible for trying to wreck your marriage. It's not Mel. It's not even Martell bringing up the 20 women. It's your husband, because had your husband not laughed at Martell and made those snide remarks about him, and this is at the time when Martell was still married to Mel. Had your husband not made those remarks about Martell cheating on Mel, then and having those phones and all that stuff. If Marceau had not made those remarks, Martell would not have brought up the 20 women. Your husband is ruining your marriage. Somebody please go tell her. And listen, Tisha's a beautiful girl. Beautiful skin, beautiful hair. Ain't nobody trying to take nothing from her there. Beautiful body, beautiful family. You know, but there are some things that don't come together. She is cognitively dissonant. You have your MBA, Tisha, go look that up. Okay? Um, they her and her mom talk about Kiki's invitation to Mel's party. Let's be clear. Kiki did not say anything damaging about Tisha at that party. Mel asked her a question and she answered it very vaguely. She didn't go into details and she just said things that the viewers already know. she seemed to be very careful about what she said. So she wasn't there to bash Tisha the way that Tisha's mom, who is grossly, phonetically, grossly and phonetically challenged. Grossly. Did you hear the live that Jamie, that's me, did? She put up Wanda's live. I couldn't even get through half of it. I said, you know what? My head just can't take it. My headspace couldn't handle it. Um, and then Wanda has these sayings, never trust anybody that buys shoes that don't come in a box. Is she trying to create something here? I think Wanda said that because she's trying to start a phrase or something. She's trying to get people to catch on to that. Wanda, don't. Okay? Don't. Do not do that. Okay? Then she kept saying KeKe is image of Tisha, where beings and where she living. And she's image of her marriage. But the thing that stuck out to me, listen to me, I'm getting stuck in the phonetics. So the one statement she made which stuck out to me is KeKe is image of Tisha's where beings and where she living. Wanda, no one is jealous of Tisha. You want people to be jealous. People are not jealous of people like that, you guys. Grown people are not jealous of people like that. I'm not jealous of anyone. I'm not envious of anyone. Whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to do for myself, to better myself. So this thing with Wanda and black people wanting everybody to be jealous of them, people are not jealous of you. When I looked at Tisha as she was speaking with Wanda, I looked at her nonverbals and they exposed some of her deceit and malicious ways. She really does urge her mother, you guys. She in that conversation, she urged her mother anyway. Okay. Um, and then her mother goes into a live and says, bring the bone to Tisha, you better be ready to eat it. Oh my goodness, Wanda. Okay. I have never, and I grew up in the country and I just have never. I just can't. I'm gonna kind of skip over Tiffany. I know that she and Mel met and they're going to Utah to find her dad. I'm just really outdone with Tisha and Lewis. And it's too bad that there are not that many more people in Huntsville because Tiffany and Lewis may be two people that we're stuck with. Because Carlos King is one of those people who thinks that if a lot of people are saying they don't like someone, that it means they like them. If I say I don't like someone, it means I don't like them. It means I don't want them on the show. It doesn't mean that I want you to do the opposite of what I ask you to do. A lot of people think that if you say one thing that you must mean the other. No, I'm very direct. I don't like Tiffany and Lewis on the show. I could have withstood Lewis to some degree, but I just can't because I know he comes with Tiffany. I just can't. And I know that there are people, I heard one blogger say that Tiffany is really sweet. And I'm not saying she's not. I'm just saying that I think that sometimes people they will say something about someone, then they meet them and then they see how sweet they are and they change their mind about them, right? That just means that person is cunning. Do you know who else is cunning? In the Bible, God used the term cunning to describe Satan. So there are a lot of people out there who are real sweet and innocent sounding, but they're underhanded. That's not sweet. Okay. And if you meet someone one time and you say, "Oh, they're sweet." No, you don't know someone after meeting them one time, okay? I'll never forget in a psychology class that I took in college, they told us that at that time, this was a long time ago, I don't know if it still stands, but they said that in order to really know someone, it takes you 2 years and you need to be living with them, residing with them for a period of 2 years before you really know their personality and what they really are. So when you just meet someone the first time and you say, "Oh, they're real sweet." No, you don't know that person. Stop, you know, blurbing out characteristics that you don't even know yet. Um, Now the last scene I'm gonna talk about is KeKe and Wanda. I'm not gonna really talk about Tiffany and Lewis. I will say this though. If I'm going to go meet my biological mother and father, I'm taking my husband. I'm not taking Mel. And I know they're doing this for the show. This is how sometimes you know they're just doing this for the show. She goes, I thought I'd make it a girls' trip. Honey, half those girls don't even like you. Why are you going on a girls' trip with women you don't even know, women you just met? Take your husband. I just can't with Tiffany. I'm just done. I'm just done. Um, I wish they would find a different couple. I really do. But anyway, with Wanda and KeKe, I just overall, I like KeKe. Her hair was looking sharp in this scene. It was looking really good. Um, but Wanda says to KeKe, when KeKe is talking about the pajama party, she says, "They messy women's, KeKe, and you part of it. They messy women's." Okay. KeKe, the one thing I did like about this conversation is KeKe did open up to let us know the background for the rivalry between she and Tisha. And she says that her dad, who is an entrepreneur, and Wanda are at fault. Um, the one negative I'll bring up about KeKe is she keeps bringing up an old issue that occurred 4 or 5 years ago between her and Tisha. She needs to put it to rest. That's not the issue. Tisha is saying to you that she doesn't want you talking about her around other people. So honor that. What you should have said is, listen, I apologize to you, cousin, because I should have really thought about how that made me feel when you did it to me some years ago. And we spent hours making up over that. So for me to do that to you, let me apologize to you, and it will not happen again. That's all KeKe had to say. But I think that she is just trying to be messy. I really do. Um, I see some people in here, some people are coming in. I just want to know what are your thoughts on this? You know, what are your thoughts on it? So the person who keeps coming back over here, I'm going to go ahead and go over this with you guys. This is the end. Remember, I told you I would tell you at the end why I haven't been on here in so long. There's a couple of people. One of them is, and I'm going to go ahead, I don't want to really say her name because she's such a pothead witch on YouTube. She is a witch and she's a pothead. And I don't even know this person. And she's a young woman who came into my DMs on Instagram. And I should have known something was up then. Soon after that, someone else came in my Instagram and shared some information with me about her and what she did against me on her channel. They are trying to run me off YouTube. The people who are involved is someone at StreamYard, someone at Google, and this pothead witch that I'm not going to say her name. And I want to just communicate just how dumb, and yes, I did say dumb, some of these black women YouTubers are. And I did, I meant to say black bully women. These women, they are bullies. And it's this pothead witch on YouTube who has hacked my computer. She got someone to hack my computer, and they've hacked some other things. And look at her. She's probably here now. Yes, you pothead witch. You're going to prison because there's a difference between doxing someone and hacking someone. Doxing someone means you get information online or you've gotten public information about them, which really you shouldn't be doing either. Because that's what that other person was doing. She did that with that. all about the T girl. And I don't even know if that was her real information, but she posted her DMV records. That was bad. Okay. Um, that was doxing. She got someone else to do that for her. But when you hack into someone's computer and in the privacy of their life, and you go and you send it in an email to other people, something's wrong with you. You need help. You really need help. You are a bully. And the fact that you think it's okay for you to just mess with somebody you don't know because they don't think like you or they don't want to be like you are not going to be in the kingdom of God. And I'm perfectly fine saying that. You are a witch. You're a pothead. You are the devil's daughter. You are deceptive and you go around causing harm and strife to other people's lives. And you think that you're something just because you're on YouTube and you have subscribers. She has told people she wants me off YouTube. Well, get off YouTube. You get off YouTube. Slavery is over. Your mother did a bad job with you. Cups, you devil. Tell your mother she did a horrible job with you. You're a no good woman. So I wanted to wait a while and come on here just to see if I got comments. You notice here, I don't have any comments because Google, StreamYard, and that girl and some other person, the other guy, I forgot his name. He's also involved in the hacking. Like I see you. I hope you heard what I had to say. You keep coming back over here trying to see if I'm still here. You're going to prison. You are the devil. Satan, you definitely are. People like you are not going to be in the kingdom, hacking into people's. You don't have a life. You have to follow me around.